Hello and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. And I was wondering if you think the price of XRP will increase as the dollar declines in value. At the start of this video, I'm going to quickly go over an item that was recently shared by the Daily Huddle. They also refer to the opinion of an analyst working for a corporation that manages $4.50 trillion in assets. I'd want to hear from him because I've been following him on Twitter for a while now, maybe a year and a half or so, and have found his tweets to be insightful enough to have highlighted them several times. And he believes that what is going to happen is that the dollar will continue to decline. He anticipates a price increase in precious metals and cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin as a result. Let me explain why it matters to me. Likewise, you should. First of all, I'm sure that I'm not the only one that you know, out of all of you listening, that also has a Bitcoin, even if you're not that excited about it like me. Even though it's the most archaic form of crypto, I still respect it because it was the first. Even if it isn't always number one, a market cap perhaps versus a throne, I believe there is a good possibility that it will remain in existence. But despite that, it is now absent from the cryptocurrency exchange market. The remainder of the cryptocurrency market, including XRP, could benefit if Bitcoin's price goes up as a result of this. If you're anything like me, XRP is your go-to cryptocurrency and probably makes up the bulk of your portfolio. Even if that's the case, though, we still need to pay attention to this development. That's why it's so intriguing to see things from that angle. I also want to comment on the content you're currently reading. I recorded a lengthy video explaining everything in detail. I'm going to give you something that is essentially a continuation of the information I already gave you. But your story today suggests that some Ripple holders might be considering burning XRP right now. As I said in the video where I proposed the concept of Ripple destroying its escrowed XRP, I'm not a computer expert. That's why I couldn't answer the question immediately. It would be interesting to see if it were possible for Ripple to actually burn their XRP if they so choose. That was back in the pre-closing phase. But an IT person who used to work at Ripple has provided an answer. Hamilton, Matt. But before we go any further, I should mention that I have zero experience in the financial sector. I am not giving any kind of financial guidance. Also, you know that you shouldn't act on any of my recommendations to buy or sell. Just a hobbyist here that occasionally posts films to YouTube on various crypto-related topics. Here, then, is the summary of today's meeting. Okay, I'm going to presume that was picked up by the microphone. As I type this, a violent storm is raging outside, and my pet Annoyance is hiding out under my desk, where she has become understandably anxious. She rarely does, but lately she has started barking at the light and thunder since they're so intense. So she sought refuge next to me, under my desk, and when I'm recording, she normally hides beneath the desk. I think she's calmed down a bit, but she was clearly scared at first. It does currently, hence there may be thunder and a dog may bark. I only brought it up because that was incredibly audible in this location. I don't know how well the mic caught it up, but it definitely did. Now, according to the latest Hot Strategist blog post, we have a $4.50 trillion fund is concerned that a rapid reduction in interest rates may hurt the dollar. They speak about Bitcoin and gold, and then they bring up Durian Timber. I may have butchered his name, but the following should make sense to his 162,200 Twitter followers. An interest rate cut by the Federal Reserve, according to Fidelity's macro expert David Timmer, may spark new bull markets in gold and Bitcoin. Timmer tweets to his 162,000 followers that gold and Bitcoin have been the best performing assets this year. So, I was posting a very important reason for emphasizing this. I mean, anyone's point of view matters here. Gold is certainly a risk-on asset and has a high correlation, generally speaking, to what happens with equities. However, something that I've mentioned on and off over the past few weeks is the idea of gold suddenly reaching our Bitcoin or reaching escape velocity effectively in terms of the way that it is treated by people in general. Is this the point where things start to get dangerous and other things start to go down if equities go down because of difficult economic times? Bitcoin just disappears, like people have long thought gold would. I can't say. This is fascinating to me because my initial reaction to the concept was skepticism. I'm not saying it can't or won't in the future, but this is the first time Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have been put to the test. In that respect, it is unprecedented. Yet, whenever there have been tough economic circumstances over the past 14 years, Bitcoins have simply been treated as if they were stocks. Now is the time for that tipping point to occur, when attitudes begin to shift. I'd be open to that. While I agree that most people aren't treating cryptocurrency with the same level of respect that I do, I would very much appreciate it if it were to happen. Same. Consequently, I do realize there is still asset rain risk. However, I don't expect that to be the case forever. And it won't change how I invest any money. Whatever the case may be, I simply seek permanent encryption. In other words, it's not an entirely crazy concept. To me, is this the moment when it will finally occur? That's the part that interests me the most, so I'll keep writing about it. A situation may arise, he argues, in which the US government decides to reduce interest rates to make it simpler to resolve its debt. Man, the mic had to pick up Timmer saying that a Fed reversal may be bad for the USD and good for Bitcoin and gold. Oh God, I pray that my electricity doesn't go out. Simply said, the recording will be thrown away. If the power goes out, you'll never know this occurred to me previously because the file will be corrupted. Here, then, is the quoting question, from Wood. It is possible that the Fed's independence will be threatened if the country suddenly needs lower interest rates to service its enormous debt load. The dollar would likely drop and real rates would be repressed under such conditions, setting off two of gold's key drivers. Bitcoin may be riding shotgun because it is the high-octane cousin of gold. Excessive debt loads, according to historical evidence, must be depreciated or outgrown by increasing nominal GDP. The 1940s served as an instructive historical example. To maintain their discretionary budgeting authority in the face of rising loan costs, officials on both sides of the aisle may once again look to below-market rates as the low-hanging fruit. Perhaps this is what the price of gold and Bitcoin is trying to convey. Therefore, I still don't know the solution. Nonetheless, I think it's a fascinating viewpoint. And he's not some random person who pops up out of nowhere. He's the director of worldwide macro app Fidelity, or something like that. He's an expert in the field, then. Not that this is any type of assurance, but he's a smart guy who knows what he's talking about. And now for the next topic, Ripple may soon burn their XRP. This is just a quick update, since I don't want to repeat what I mentioned in my video yesterday about the possibility of Ripple burning their XRP and what it would entail. However, at one point, attorney Bill Morgan penned a piece on the subject of Ripple's escrow in which validators had the option of voting to destroy the escrow. Perhaps they are unable to use the question mark. That's what I assumed was at the heart of the debate that just ended. It's true that the validators theoretically could make that assumption, but they are less certain now than they were before. Imagine if Ripple suddenly began dumping on the market. Yes, the validators could theoretically accomplish that. They could even burn themselves. Maybe that does happen. However, even if it does damage to the XRP price, I don't think it's the appropriate thing to do. And I'm not sure that validators would actually do that. I don't know, but I pray we're spared the experience of finding out. Though Ripple has the ability to destroy its own XRP. So, in any case, I decided to join in. And I emailed Bill Morgan. Certainly Ripple needs the XRP ledger to exist in order to facilitate any transaction on it. Ripple may theoretically destroy their XRP by sending it to an address without the necessary burn key. Unfortunately, I do not know of a mechanism to facilitate this for escrowed XRP. My point was simply that I'm not a tech nerd and wanted to make that clear. To be honest, I have no idea. Being in this area for over 5 years has given me a basic understanding of the technology used here. But I know there are those who are much more knowledgeable than I am. But when it comes to crypto investments, my view is that a basic grasp is sufficient if you're like me and don't want to do anything more than buy and hold. Similar to how knowing about TCP/IP, the glue of the internet, isn't enough to fully understand the internet is more than just a network. It connects other networks. Do you understand how TCP/IP functions, though, even if you know that? Exactly how would you characterize that? What does the source code look like? Actually, no, I mean, virtually no one could. That, however, is irrelevant. There's no requirement for you to understand how the web functions. You don't need to know what SMTP is to use email. All you need is an idea of what the internet is, and the same is true of crypto. All the average person needs to know is some basic principles. To be perfectly frank, it's probably okay if you have no plans to write any code or construct anything atop a blockchain. In other words, I admitted, to be honest, if you're referring to XRP, I have no idea how Bernie Sanders and XRP would appear. That's been escrowed. Somebody whose online handle was the Digital Dodo mentioned to me in an email that they remembered this being brought up before. Former Ripple boy Matt Hamilton agreed, saying the object would have to be released first and then delivered to a locked location. Even if that were the true, it would take a long time to eradicate completely. Absurd that so many people are demanding it. This is why I'm updating you with a video. Matt Hamilton chimed in with some helpful context and understanding that I wanted to pass along. He wrote, "The escrows are set to release to a particular address. At any time, Ripple has the ability to declare the destination account inaccessible by deactivating the master key. Until the monies were released from escrow, Ripple would not be able to access them out in the open and likely make all of their future escrow funds inaccessible to them. Essentially, it's a load on them. That settles it, then?" I didn't know for sure, but according to Matt Hammonds, the answer is yes, you can do it. That's intriguing, then. In order to prevent themselves from withdrawing XRP from escrow, they could theoretically just delete their entire escrow system right now. Just because it's so relieving to do so. On a periodic basis, but they can currently make it permanently unusable, so that's cool. Educate yourself here. I'm not sure whether anyone else here already knew this, but it's news to me. That's fascinating, though it's quite unlikely to actually occur. If you're curious about the context of our conversation, you can learn more in my video from yesterday. Just what you're looking for is readily available. It's actually from yesterday, but I wanted to add this as a small add-on to that chat, as you can see, and you'll know based on the title and thumbnail that it's the one if you look for it. However, I'll end this here because I'm not a financial expert. Nothing they say should influence any transactions you make. Right, please like if you enjoyed it. And subscribe for latest updates. See you in the next one, bye.